Hello and welcome to the Tweetcore Radio Hour. I'm your host, Mark Schuster, and I invite you to join me on my ongoing quest to seek out great new music, independent artists that we discover together in the far reaches of the social media universe.
Fixing it. And we know we've talked about this before, but sometimes that muddying things up a little bit, that's the right move.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was thinking that too. I mean, I do that with this, the cover of What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding I've been working on. There are just some things where it's like, especially with my vocal, it's just, all right, let's muddy that a little bit. Let's sync that a little into the background because we don't necessarily need to hear everything my voice is doing in really sharp definition.
Yeah, no, it is. I was reading one of an old tape op that I had, just kind of thumbing through it, and that was the guy. He's the one. He works with Kevin Morby, and he was talking about his experience of going to Berklee School of Music and using all their great equipment to get these super clean recordings and being like, they just don't have any vibe. So I guess it just depends on what you're going for. But, if you've got lots of layers and subtleties that are happening, then you need a certain amount of clarity. That's the art of the mixing and mastering, right? It's how do you give something that's a total picture, right? That you just listen to it and it sounds complete. But if you really stop and pay attention, you can be like, oh yeah, I can hear this cool synth part in the background. It doesn't jump out at you right away, but you're rewarded on repeat listening. Yeah,
and I think that's one of the cool things about a good, well-mixed record, or even sometimes a poorly mixed record. It's just, if there's something cool going on, anything that makes you listen to it a couple of times, or anything where you can mine it for more interesting sounds the more you listen to it, that really starts to make it a rewarding listening experience. Yeah,
and honestly, I'm kind of curious to hear what you think about because I mentioned that in the one that me and you and Mike just did. It's Good, where I did some different backing vocal stuff underneath, and I'm curious to think if I pulled it off.
Yeah, no, I think you did, because what it does is it obviously gives texture to the song, and it also layers the song in a way that is more than just kind of, here's the straight song. It's, okay, there are these other things going on in the background that make you take notice, and in some ways underscore a lot of just that phrasing, especially with that, it's good, it also kind of makes you think. It's it's good, but it's good sounds like a deceptively simple kind of statement to make, whereas there's a lot more going on in this song than you might guess. I always thought, when you listen to, for example, Beach Boys music, especially from the 60s,
yes,
it's so deceptively simple, because you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that's just, a bubblegum pop sound. But then when you start breaking it down, it's like, wow, listen to all the stuff that's going on in this track.
Yeah, and that actually was an inspiration in terms of trying to do some of that, is the stuff that because we were talking about, my wife and I were talking about the Pet Sounds record and Good Vibrations and stuff like that. I mean, Good Vibrations is just a pop song, right? You hear it, it's a pop song, but then if you listen to it, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole experience of listening to the record closely. Oh.
Yeah. It's really I know the Beatles, and rightfully so, get tons of credit for their wonderful, vocal harmonies and stuff like that. But I mean, really, compared to the stuff that, you understand why they were they'd listen to the Beach Boys records and be like, oh, damn, we got to step our game up, because listen to what Brian Wilson is putting together.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And it's not really fair, because the Beatles are there like, hey, and we're going to do it ourselves. And Brian Wilson's like, cool, Cutting Crew, Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. Oh, the Cutting Crew would have been fun too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all in the way that you hold your drugs. And it may be true, it's not something I'm gonna do anymore. Because I'm getting clean, yeah, you know what I mean. Whoa. Too many days wasting away. I'm not blaming anybody else for nearly destroying myself. Oh, oh. lose your attitude and go home. You know you were too mean for something you never seen. Whoa. And I'm not blaming anybody else for merely destroying myself. Whoa. I'm getting clean, you know what I mean. Whoa. I spent too many days wasting away. Whoa. You know I'm getting clean, you know I'm getting clean. Whoa. I spent too many days wasting away. Whoa. Oh, oh, oh.
That was Clean by Junior Maz Collective. Clean, of course, the name of the song, but the song's pretty clean itself. Don't recall hearing any naughty words in there. Before that, Brian Lambert with a really cool tune called It's Good. Nice little write-up on that song on Jeff Archuleta's Eclectic Music Lover blog. Look for that. Came out a couple weeks ago. You might have to scroll through a couple of the posts on his blog, but you know something? It's worth it. It's a great blog, eclecticmusiclover.com. Check it out. Read all about the latest from Brian Lambert in a post called Fresh New Tracks Volume 21. Also has some cool things to say about a couple of other bands too. One's called 5 on 5. The other one's called Wild Horse. Actually, I think I'll play those tracks in a minute. Jeff Archuleta always turning us on to some good music. That's why I always recommend reading his blog. And like the title implies, he loves all kinds of music. That's what makes him an eclectic music lover. Anyway, fun fact about those two songs I had just played. I'm on playing drums on both of them. Not to toot my own horn or bang my own drum as the case may be. But I gotta say, it's a lot of fun playing music with Brian Lambert and Junior Maz Collective, Mike Mosley, who, by the way, is playing guitar and bass on It's Good by Brian Lambert. And of course, before those songs, we heard me and Brian chatting a little bit. Always great to chat with Brian Lambert. Always a popular guy to have on the show. I actually have people telling me, I like when you talk to Brian on the show. And I got to tell you, I like talking to Brian. So it's a win-win for everybody. Right now, though, going to keep that cool Tweetcore music coming at you. Here's Balloon by 5 on 5.
I don't know where we're meant to find. So purposeless.
Someone turn a light on in order to see and something around us. Let's better us be. Now that you're with me in a rising balloon, I can hardly hide it. We are making it soon. And I don't know what we're supposed to find. So purposeless, so purposeless. And I don't know where we're meant to fly. So purposeless, so purposeless. All night, all day, some I got the fuel masked up, the balloon won't stop, and all the world's so small and the wind so rough. I hope we don't fall down, screaming loud. I thought that we were headed south.
And now she take that jet out and fly me to the moon. She wanna go to Pluto, we running on the view. I fell in love and said, and the feelings left too soon. Now I'm higher than the clouds, waiting in my big balloon. My mind's still feeling nothing.
That was Balloon by 5 on 5. They're from Berlin, Germany. You can definitely hear a bit of a Kraftwerk influence in that song. Cool video too. You can check that out on, like I said before, Jeff Archuleta's blog, Eclectic Music Lover. Look for the post titled Fresh New Tracks, Volume 21, where you'll also find this tune by Wild Horse. Here's Cougar. That was Cougar by Wild Horse. Very cool tune, funky beat. Once again, thanks to Jeff Archuleta and his Eclectic Music Lover blog for turning us on to that one and the last couple of songs we were just listening to. Up next, a couple of tracks from a band that I really enjoy. They're from Macclesfield, England, right outside of Manchester. Their new EP is called The Man Who Stole the Sun, and they're called Red Sky Dawn.
steals from everyone I know. Love isn't real. Love is a chemical. Walking streets look like they won't change. The same old writing on the wall in the same place. Demons head from the lines above my head. So I must believe every single word you say. Love is a thief. Love steals from everyone I know. Love isn't real. Love is a chemical. Love is a thief. Love steals from everyone I know. Love isn't real. Love is a chemical. Love is a thief. Love steals from everyone I know. Love isn't real. Love is a chemical.
We all made our beds in the grass by the railway sheds. Walkers won by the fire of breaking day, but like the red sky dawn you fade so fast. Like the red sky dawn you just can't last. Life should have been good to you. You worked so hard to make those little things, those dreams of yours come true. And you never wanted much, just the shelter of a warm embrace and a willing tender touch.
But the damage has been done. The tide of life turned round and took the things that you held dear one by one. And you didn't see the waves come in. You were blinded by the promises of every rising sun.
We all made our beds in the grass by the railway sheds. Walkers run by the fire of breaking day. Like the red sky dawn you fade so fast. Like the red sky dawn you just can't last. What are we
feet as you weaved among the stones, and the silence just won't do. But the truth comes back to haunt you like it never goes away.
You didn't realize what you had. You didn't know the things you chased would be the things that made you sad. And I'm afraid I cannot hold my tongue. And I watch you from afar make all the same mistakes again.
We all made our beds in the grass by the railway sheds. Woke as one by the fire of breaking day. Like the red sky dawn, you fade so fast. Like the red sky dawn, you just can't last. What are we to do?
What are we to do?
Now that the storm has made landfall.
Now that the storm has made landfall.
No, you just can't keep on running.
No, you just can't keep on running.
Through the storms upon the fell. You see it time and again. The pretty flower is shattered stem. It's broken well beyond repair. Don't ask me why, I do not know. The red sky dawn will never make it to the morning, to the day. We all made our beds in the grass by the railway sheds. Woke as one by the fire of breaking day. Like the red sky dawn, you fade so fast. Like the red sky dawn, you just can't last. What are we to do now? What are we to do now? What are we to do now? What are we to do now?
That was Love is a Thief, followed by a song named after the band, Red Sky Dawn. Maybe the band's named after the song? Either way, it's pretty cool. I found out about Red Sky Dawn the way I usually do, just following the socials, followed them. They seemed like a cool band. Then they posted a picture of a boxer, the dog, not like Rocky Balboa or something, but like the dog, a boxer. And I thought, hey, that is a cute dog. And I had this drawing of a boxer that I had drawn, and I said, hey, I see you like boxers. Here's a drawing of a boxer. And they wrote back and said, hey, do you want to do our album art for us? Which I was like, yeah, totally. I'd love to. And they told me what their concept was, and I managed to work that boxer, the drawing I had done, a silhouette of that dog, into the picture because I know they were fans of boxers. Love boxers myself. Love all kinds of dogs myself. Just like I love all kinds of music. Anyway, it all worked out. You can check out my art, but definitely check out their music. Once again, they are called Red Sky Dawn. Look for them on Bandcamp. I actually have an interview with them coming up pretty soon, if not already. It's always hard to judge when these things come out. I should just write it down, but I don't because I'm lazy. Anyway, the point is, there's either going to be or there has been an interview with Red Sky Dawn on my blog, Abominations. Check out what they have to say about their own music. Very cool people, very cool music. I'm glad to be playing them here on the Tweetcore Radio Hour. Up next, a new one from one of our favorite artists here, favorite bands. Won't Say Rabbit. It's called Let's Do Beers. Check it out.
Yeah, what do you wanna do tonight?
Ew. That was Let's Do Beers by Won't Say Rabbit. Always enjoy playing their music. I say it's a new song, but I suspect it was probably recorded in the late 80s, early 90s. But even so, I'm reminded of a couple of bands that I really like, a couple of acts, Tweetcore folk, who I really enjoy. Hearing a little bit of, Scoopski in there, and maybe a little bit of Unlucky Mammals. Obviously, not to say that they're influences, but I definitely imagine they're simpatico with each other, as they say. I think they say that anyway. But, I think a lot of things. And one of those things is that this next song, it's called Overdressed by Cymbal Soup, is pretty darn cool. That was Overdressed by Cymbal Soup. Here's what their press release had to say. Tender and conversational. Cymbal Soup, a.k.a. Michael Ray, creates music that draws on everything from folk, country, indie, and electronica. Growing up in Milton Keynes, Michael drew parallels between the Buckinghamshire new town and the American small towns he saw on TV. And this oddly Pacific Northwest perspective has influenced his music. Grew up in Milton Keynes. I guess that's better than growing up in John Maynard Keynes. That was a joke for all you economists out there, but you're rolling in your seats right now. Anyway, a perfect introduction to his laid-back style. Overdressed is a gentle character study, managing to be both wry and insightful at the same time. And I'll tell you, I like my insight to be served just a little wry. And here's what he has to say. It's a love song from the perspective of someone who's overly cynical and judges everyone around them as superficial or, as the title implies, overdressed. They have a bit of an us against the world mentality and feel trapped in a maze of surface-level interactions. They don't learn a whole lot by the end of the song, but they are fully connected to one person, and that's the connection to something deeper that they're desperate for. Those, of course, are the words of Michael Ray, a.k.a. Cymbal Soup. Has a cool video on YouTube. I would suggest looking for it. It's funny. It's, let's just say it's a hot dog eating contest themed video. And I gotta say, we don't see enough of those these days. Once again, that song was called Overdressed. The artist was Cymbal Soup. Up next, a couple of tracks from a band called The Chairman Dances. They're from the Philadelphia area. My friend Monica D'Antonio told me all about them. Their new album is called Small Comforts. Here's a track. First track on the album. It's called Alone at Waverly.
I live alone at Waverly, have my own house with a big TV, haven't watched TV since the kids were young. Loosened up hats 3 years ago. She was 70. That sounds old, but it isn't. Not really. We had just moved here. Becky flew in from Arizona. Jenny drove from Tacoma, brought the grandkids, brought the husbands. We bounced the babies on our knees, on our shoulders. I still work occasionally. Keeps me busy, keeps me happy. It's something to do, it's something to do anyway. It's something to do, it's something to do anyway. I miss Lucinda, miss teaching. Otherwise, I do just fine. Say, John, could you hold a minute? Someone's on the other line, probably Becky. She calls me every day. Oh, I still work occasionally. Keeps me busy. It's something to do. It's something to do anyway. It's something to do. It's something to do anyway. Oh, it's something to do. It's something to do anyway. See everyone in the group video chat. They can't see me. You see the camera with a line through it. Click that. I click that. I appear. Squares in a row. One large square, Kendra explains. Whoever's talking moves. Moves to the large square. She is in fact in the large square as she tells us this. Jason raises his hand, lets us know we'd like to sleep. He exhales deeply. He says since his brother passed, she was that a year ago now. He's felt as if he's been flowing just above himself, as if one of the two strings tether the soul to the body has been cut. The tether the soul to the body has been cut. He's holding on to his conscious self as a child holds on to a balloon. exhausted from the effort. He says he's scared if he lets go, he'll lose himself. Be carried, 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 carried away. Jason rubs his eyes with his fingers. Lets out a roar.
We tell him we love him.
We promise to check in.
Again next week.
We finish the prayers.
Sit in silence, and one by one,
Log off, log off, log off. Log off, log off, log off. Log off.
Couple of really lovely, intricate tunes there from a band called The Chairman Dances. You can find their album, Small Comforts, in all the places where you stream music, but I highly recommend checking out Bandcamp. Just reading their Bandcamp page. Here's what they have to say about the project. Small comforts, nothing out of the ordinary. A phone call, a plum, a chintzy party hat. As unremarkable as these things seem, they are full of meaning, offering solace, joy, pleasure. Their exchange is what makes a friend, a spouse, a loved one, beloved. You worry about your parents, so you call them, and their voice is a relief to you, just as yours is to them. The muted buzz of your phone, a photo of a relative, framed or floating on a screen. Comfort, manifest.
It doesn't matter to me. We
as you may recall from a few episodes back, is Malibu Hot Flush with Make It Matter. Really enjoy that track, hence, I suppose, playing it a second time on the show. Have to wonder, though, what is a Malibu Hot Flush? Not going to lose any sleep over it, of course, but, you know, it's the kind of thing that makes you think, makes you wonder. And maybe that's how you know it's a cool band name. In any case, we're running out of time together, my friends. We're reaching the end of another hour. So I'm going to leave you with a cool track by Dan Johnson. Dan is one of the artists who participated in last year's album writing contest, sponsored by the Lights and Lines Music Collective. I've said good things about them before, and I'll say it again. A lot of good music came out of that contest. I don't even want to call it a contest. It was more of just a workshop, you could say. And one of the albums that came out of that workshop was called Personal by Dan Johnson, who also sometimes performs under the name Age of Infernal. This song, Lost Words, is the second track on Dan Johnson's album, Personal.
Lost words in the distance call me, right from the inside. These words we can already hear. Down we go, down from the places where we hide. But now they're gone, another song.